Welcome to Paradise Mindset. Today we talk about thinking bigger, extra large. I asked in my Instagram stories if you have any topics you want me to talk about. You came up with some suggestions and one of them is how to think big. So here we go, let's get straight into it. I started tattooing myself about 2 years ago when I got my own machine and I just started. And I thought about tattooing myself the word fear, but I wanted to cross it out, just as a sign for me that I don't need to fear anything. As I thought more and more about the tattoo, I don't want to give fear that much space. Not on my skin, not in my life. So I decided to not tattoo myself here just to cross it out. I won't give fear any place in my life. When I'm doing something new, when I'm creating art or creating concepts or pitching ideas, means as soon as something gets uncomfortable for me, it means that I'm heading into the right direction, because it also means that I'm leaving my comfort zone. The first thing I ask myself, if I'm heading into a new direction or trying out new things, what can go wrong? And then I'm thinking of all the negative possibilities, outcomes which can happen. And usually there's not much what can go wrong. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but it's not in the potential of doing something really bad. It's just something, maybe you lost some time, maybe you wasted some money or materials, but it's not that it has like enormous consequences of my life. But it can have enormous consequences for me in my life if it goes well. The potential of the ideas can take me to places where I haven't been before. So I'm always striving for that kind of experience and not looking, oh, what can go wrong and so on. Of course there can things go wrong, or just seeing the potential of the idea so fascinating and attractive for me that it just like puts me right into it. Not everyone ticks the same like me, but for me that's the best way to approach things. My favorite hack in thinking bigger, creating new ideas and concepts is to have fun. Really have fun, enjoy the process, don't take yourself too serious and let the humor decide. Because most of my ideas always just come out of jokes. And there are a lot of examples in the history, even in the modern history, where jokes went wrong in that kind of way that it's very successful. For example, the band Blur wrote the song 2 just to shock the label. So when they had the pre-listening for the album, they said, yeah, and this is going to be our hit single. And then they just played out song 2, which wasn't really mastered and mixed. And it's just a very rough version. It was just to shock the label. Yeah, but the label guys heard the song and said, yes, that's our first single. Let's bring it out. When can we start? So, and that's how song 2 became such an enormous hit. It was made out of fun. It was to joke around, to fool the label. And in the end, it was really successful and still is a very successful song. Last year, I was in Munich and had a day off, and I was sitting in the English garden and I wrote a list of things I wanted to do. And to make life easier for me, the headline was weird ideas. And then I just wrote down stuff which I wanted to achieve or which are just like floating around in my head, just to write them down. And after a couple of days, I took a second look at the list and I just recognized and thought, why do you call this weird ideas? Those aren't weird ideas. Those are really, they're not all agree, they're not great ideas, but they are not weird. And just go ahead and just see what ideas you can turn into reality. So the next thing I was doing was crossing out weird and it's just ideas. Let room for the most ridiculous ideas. You never know what can come out. My point of view is that people who can have fun at their job will be more successful, because at least for me, being in a creative business or artistic business, it's like the more relaxed I am and the more fun I can have, the better the outcome and the ideas will be. If my idea if I have the potential, like to say an idea, thinking of this big, and then I think, yeah, but the money and the budget, and then I start to lower my expectation or to smaller the idea. The ideas always get smaller in the end. If you're working with brands and so on, it will always get smaller and smaller. So why just not start here, and when it's getting smaller, maybe it ends here, but it's maybe still above your idea you had in mind when you just thought of all the restraints and limitations you had in your mind. Let's just say you have a 5-year midterm kind of plan. And now you put this goal, and you don't put the end in 5 years, but in 1 year. I promise you, you will take more steps to this goal, and you will definitely achieve more in this year than you're probably gonna achieve in the 5 years working towards this plan. If you want to take actions and you want to achieve higher stuff, you have to put yourself in a position to do this. There's no rules for anything. If you have a goal, it's up to you to set your mind, your time frame, and the goals. It's up to you what you can achieve, what time you can put in to achieve your goal or your ideas, to turn them into reality. That's always up to you. I'm having mixed feelings when it comes to to-do lists, but usually my to-do lists tend to get very long. Even if I'm having a very productive day, there will still be 5 to 10 items which I can't tick off. This just reminds me that there's still a long way to go, and that even if I'm having my to-do list done, I'm not done. This never ending to-do list is just a reminder for me that my job is not finished yet. It's the same, for example, I was visiting the Facebook headquarters in Berlin, and they tend to have the same attitude towards their buildings as well, because all the cables and all the ceiling is very raw and not finished. Facebook wants to remind his employees that the platform is not done yet. It's still things to work on. It's an ongoing process. So my reminder for this is my to-do list. Just don't limit yourself. It's easier said than done, but try to think as big as possible. And if you can dream about it or think about it, you can also be it or build it. Whatever you can imagine, I'm sure there's a way you can make this imagination or fantasy or turning real. So a quick summary of thinking bigger, the Paradise Mindset, is don't be scared, have fun in the process, don't constrain yourself, think big. And I mean, don't think big, think extra, extra large. Ideas tend to get smaller in the process. Every idea will get smaller and smaller, but don't start at small, because then your idea will be none. Act big, take actions towards your goal, make a plan, and then just go for it. And if you're doing 5-year plans, just change the duration to 1 year, and you will see you will get a lot of things done. That's it for this episode of Paradise Mindset. I hope you like it. Please leave a comment, thumb up, and if you like the videos or the things I'm doing, subscribe to the Paradise Studio YouTube channel.